Inky Butterfly, and I'm just going to get started here as I talk. So this is the collaboration project that Joanna started, where basically everybody gets a 2 pages that she gives us, and we are charged with coloring them, and then we send them back to her, and then she, I guess, binds the book together and puts it all together for us. So right now what I'm looking at is I'd like to put in more of the background. Again, still working on the background. So today I'm going to be working in this leafy, viney area still. This is occupying quite a lot of time, only because it's pretty intricate. So I'm going to throw in another layer. So you see, as I work through each layer in the background, I'm going to be adding more leaves until it feels dense and thick enough for my taste. So I have here a nice little open space where I feel like there could be a leaf back here. So I'm going to come in and let's just create, and I have here, I switched it up to the PC 908 rather, dark green. And the reason I switched it is because I felt like it was starting to get a little too blue. Not that with me you can never be too blue, I guess. But I just felt like it needed a little bit more of the darker green color. So here we are with the dark green. Alright, so I'm going to, so there's the stem which this leaf will live on. And I like to show the stems at least partially because it gives the leaves a context. It's not just coming out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. Okay. So we have here. Oh! So sometimes when I'm concentrating too much, I get clumsy. And that's what just happened there. That's okay. Luckily it did not mark up my paper any. And everything is okay with the world. No big deal. But even if it did mark up the paper, you just figure out how to work around it and move on. That's life. Okay, so now we have here the start of a leaf. And I'm going to put him all the way back there and up. So what's good is this is darkening up the background quite a bit. This layer here. And it's giving some nice cross action going, which makes it look even more tangly and thick. So you can see just by building your layers slowly over time and doing different leafy shapes as you go with each layer will give you a nice, thick, dense looking. So now I'm doing kind of like leafy shapes as like darker shapes as it extends into the light shaded area. And this is a nice way to transition between the thick darkness and the light shiny areas. Okay, so I'm like playing with negative space here. This leaf will be a little bit darker. Like that, and then this leaf is even darker. So I think I prefer the paper in my copy of Ivy and the Inky Butterfly better than this paper. Just as an FYI, feels like in my copy of the Ivy and the Inky Butterfly I can get many more layers of colored pencil down. Probably because the tooth of the paper is much toothier, if you will. And on this paper here, feels like it's a bit smoother, and I'm still able to get quite a lot of layers down, but just FYI, if you're working on the collab, the paper does seem to be a little bit less toothy than the paper that is provided in the United States copy, the US edition of Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. Okay, so getting there. Really starting to look lush and thick, filled with stuff. So I'm going to pull back and just show you sort of where I'm at. So you see right in here I have this leaf that I just created, and I'm also creating a dark leaf that's curling up in the background, and then I'll create more leaves intertwined as I keep going. So I'm going to use this same color, and I'm going to work in over here. Again, I feel like I could use a leaf or two in this spot. So let's see here, how am I going to show you how I'm doing this. So I'm going to, here we go. So we have here, maybe let's sketch in another spot. So let's have a branch, not a branch, but a stem. Kind of come in from down here. And now I'm committing to this, but you don't have to. You can feel free to do like this, where, oh, am I in camera? You can feel like I committed down here and I just went dark and went for it. Right here, like this. But you don't have to do that if you just want to sort of sketch it in first, see how it looks. And that way, if you don't like it, you're not committing to it. Okay, so that'll be the shape of that leaf, which I like that. Kind of mirrors this leaf a little, but not in the same way. And the only reason why I'm trying to do it a little bit symmetrical but not perfectly symmetrical is because that's the way the rest of the page is designed. I think Joanna intentionally made it mostly symmetrical, and so I'm not trying to copy her style exactly. I'm doing it in my own way, but at the same time, I want my designs to flow with the way that the page is already done. So by adopting some of Joanna's techniques of doing somewhat symmetrical but not perfectly symmetrical, my design jives and flows with hers, and it doesn't feel discordant with the way that the rest of the page is. But I can still do it in my own style, and so that way I bring my own flavor and personality into the mix as well. So I'm starting to have to press fairly hard to get new layers of pencil down. So this tells me that this might be the second to last layer that I can get before I am saturated as far as pencil goes. So that's not to say that I can't go over it with other media, but let's see if I can get the background done purely in pencil. So at this point, I'm going to start to be rather careful and clever as I go up the page, making sure that I finish off and really do a nice job. So I think I want another leaf. Because I have a leaf going up like that. So let's see. Another leaf like this maybe. And now this leaf here could use a little more definition and pull it in more. So let's give that some help. So you see here what I did is there's a leaf here, and I'm just, instead of it kind of fading into the background, now as I continue, well, this feels like I'm giving it a stem, so let's just keep going that way. So you see, I adapt and change as the drawing speaks to me. Okay, so I'm just going to keep going through and refining and adding to the background. Here's another overview of how it will look. And now when it gets bound in the book, it might not be perfect like this, but that's okay. The whole effect will still be pretty nice. So I'm gonna keep going. So I think what I'll do is, I have here, let's see, I'm going to do additional leaves going up. I'm just trying to decide what I'm going to do. So I'll take a quick break and look at this and see what kind of leaves I want to do in the background. And when I've decided what I'm going to do, I will join you again and continue on. Okay, so thanks for watching so far. Stay tuned. Bye. Alright, pardon that, but ran out of space. I had to do a bit of spray. Anyway, the phone is ready to go. Where we're at, this tangly vine airing to look how I want it to. I'm going to, instead of continuing going, I think it would switch it up a bit. So I'll do the beams of light. So, I always make sure that it is and lighter at the bottom, the atmospheric effects life, and to create that illusion. So I'm going to stitch and it up and then work my way towards the page. So let's see, we'll start page and so we're still on Butterfly. This page is very much time. Use PC Copenhagen Blue. Excuse me, I'm hearing here. This pencil is one of my favorite, very dark, but it has here this 903 blue. Using both of those, and I'll let you know. So at the top of the page, I'm blue. Okay, I have here the Copenhagen Blue, and I'm going to page and simply work a very light touch, but a little bit darker. The thing with if you have no clouds in the sky, pretty simple. So you won't hear me because I have a it just hurt, but I will still. So you know some funniness. Taking my time. I'm trying to see how I just sort of the areas light in comparison to, and I try to the areas that are dark, and this allows me to even it. I hope that you can see the camera a little so that it's closer. So yeah, that's such a light color, picking it up on the camera. That's good, that's how you want it, very light on the. We're gonna build the sky, so then you might not like watch that. That's what I use. So if you don't building up layers, do not go any because that's pretty much all it's. I have color and acrylic tutorial. But I would go strictly pencil. I'm not sure how they're trying to bind or put after all the collabs are done. So I thought just to make it on the team, I would stick to pencil. I was thinking about Ergo soft pencils. A lot to me to do a nice job. I didn't want to start a brand I used before on a that I care about. I don't think formula for success. I've only used Prismacolors. My no experience with any other. So to do well with a project. Try out those Ergo soft pencils. I've already heard that they're a lot like soft and creamy as so a prejudgment before but I thought for this with what I'm happy using, if you will. Okay, some progress. Seem like I'm making much progress. I am. So you can a little bit darker. This spot several more times. That color that we want. But again, I'm trying to and funny blemishes. This sort of texture to it. A little spot. I'm not sure. What I call a deep valley. And you can see I just sort of, but that's where it is so high. The only way to get here is to really get vertical up and down. Holding of the pencil. Just take some practice. And okay, see now that created a which is not desired. So now I'm going to go around and not darken up the rest of it. that spot, it out, blend in with the rest of the paper so that you can't tell that it was there much. So this we have we have made progress on that spot between this spot here, some more darkness. I take that all the way to the off the edge of the paper. Some damage that happened to this. You can just tell changes in its texture. Damage. And it's funny because you wouldn't see on it. But to fix it. What's nice is the way that I hold often our hip, it in such a way, bring down the edges. So then, even though I haven't sharpened my, as I color, nice sharp pointy tip. So how you hold the pencil, often you sharpen. You only hold the pencil, then you'll find you need an up and down holding style if you. And this helps with the paper. Quite useful way to color the entire time this way. Then you will be sharpening your pen. Around with different. Experimenting helps you find what's. Just because I like to hold it, mean that that's the best. So really, technique and what works the nicest. And maybe that'll be if you want, if that would be a useful video on how to hold a pencil. There are many different ways to hold. So I could always own separate little video, like a how-to. So a video for you. Right, so I'm working out all that. That's why this spot is taking so. Is because I really have to be careful. And that's a trick. To the edge of the paper, almost slightly. Even out this side, get over this way, other side, and do the same. So, if the other side has the same with the paper being, I don't know how to explain it. It's definitely gone through some kind of That's okay. I'm with paper, and people aren't aware that for an art project, to be rough with paper. Understand. Okay. We do have a dark spot there, but I can't fix and work. So let's go ahead and do. So you see this dark spot that was created by bed, but it also the fact that the paper has this weird problem. I go without touching the problem. And the area out darkest spot, which is the same self. So there it is there. And gently around it, but not. And you just keep working spot until it becomes seamless coloring. So you can, if you mark it, you can't fix it too. Method, you go around the dark area until it smooths out. Okay, so I am regular movements, sort of oval shape movement. Now that I'm out of the wood, adding again to even out the it feel filled in and finished. Okay. Okay. So now I've even, and so you can see there is not a big deal. So it's not perfect right now. It's pretty easy to work out. So I'm going to keep moving now. Now that I've gotten that out of moving, not get area. And let's move page. And then over to the new sides at the seam. Yeah, there was definitely some kind of damage. That's why we work in light layers. So that will fix these problems. Easy, but easy. Okay, so I'm pretty good in there. Definitely no longer white. Closer to the light, beating it out. So it does. So I just vary my pressure. Right now I'm doing my pencil over the paper belly. So I'll just take care. Okay, so this isn't the final thing in the right as the color of. So now that is, you can see how I have to light paper and do the same thing between the two sides. I just added that a lot deeper and darker than it looked before. Just start again in, and I'm going to try, and there's a really fun trick. You can turn paper upside down. This paper is written. Just go ahead and match for area so to get that dark, and so that will approach it. And now because with that side I'm being very, it seems better. Great. Yeah, scuffing, but it's definitely the other side. uncomfortable. Spoke too soon. Okay. Major problem with the paper. This is like the surface is actually. Oh, what I've tried to do is I can with the right color. Now I'm going to work around. Okay, so this themed paper episode. What I'm doing for the most part. I have here. Alright, we're getting there. Okay, so going on here, because it's just doing the same thing. They're just kind of that. Darkening and here in the sky. And now side and this side. I need to get a little bit tired, so I think call it a day. So let me put these together. Our progress for today. Is so today, which is starting to look, and we also top spots sky and did some so over look like we got too much done. It is all part of the and this medium than other mediums. That's just something that you'll continue, is that a multi-day. I have at least tons to go. Hopefully you're willing to throughout this whole process, but it's enjoyable, not too boring. Section below how you film video stuff, bring them up, that's not a problem. Just let me know how you feel to you, and I will. Alright, so have a beautiful, lovely day tomorrow. Alright, bye.